All right, what is going on, guys? SteelTwins back at you with another video.
Back at you with Week 18 predictions, the final week of the NFL regular season as the playoffs are right around the corner. It's crazy. I don't know about you guys. This season absolutely flew. They added an extra week, and I feel like it went by faster. That's just me.
No, I'm right there with you, but this is Week 18, the first Week 18 in NFL history.
Yes, and there will be a lot of playoff implications for a lot of these games in terms of seeding, clinching, and, just everyone's hopes and dreams possibly either coming true or just absolutely falling flat. But we'll see what happens as we open up with some Saturday football, which is always a treat. Saturday football, man, we start off with the Chiefs at the Broncos. The AFC number one seed is still open, and if I'm correct, I think the Chiefs need the Titans to lose, and they need to win their matchup to get number one seed. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the Titans obviously have a win over the Chiefs, so thus, if the Titans win one more game, then they clinch the number one seed. But the Chiefs, man, they're still going to fight for home field advantage or for the first-round bye in general. But I'm still going to go with the Chiefs. I don't trust the Broncos, man. 7-10's not too bad with the roster they have this year. And if they go out and get a true franchise quarterback for the future, I think they can do some damage
For sure.
down the road. But I got Kansas City, 31-17.
I think Drew Lock's starting for the Broncos, and it is in Denver, but I don't think that's going to give them any help whatsoever. I got Kansas City winning this by a long shot. 36-21. I can see Denver trying to compete early on, but I think Kansas City just takes the game in the second half. I do.
So we go from one divisional game to another with the Cowboys at the Eagles.
Both teams are in the playoffs for the NFC.
They have clinched playoff spots, and the number one seed is already wrapped up by the Green Bay Packers in the NFC. But, of course, this is all about seeding now, and I think the Cowboys are still going to play their starters. This is a divisional match. Should be fun. I'm still going to go Cowboys here. I like their team better. I like the matchup a little more. And I'll just go Cowboys here, 26-20. 24-21, actually.
Yeah, I can see this game being heavily defensive. Both defenses know how to get turnovers. Both defenses are pretty solid for the NFC for both teams. But I think Dallas is just the better team. I think they got the better offense, and I think they'll get the job done, and they'll advance to 12-5. So give me Dallas here, 26-23.
12-5. Who would have thought with the Cowboys, man? We shift to Sunday football, where we continue with the divisional matchups, as there will be a lot of them this week. NFC North, Packers at Lions. Now, Packers have already locked up number one seed, first round bye, home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. So they'll probably sit their starters most likely. Jordan Love might get the start here. Even if not, even if so, it doesn't matter. I don't see the Lions getting a win here. I just don't. It's the Lions, and you might as well just lose the game to get a higher draft pick. So let's
try to hope that you get potentially number one.
Potentially, who knows, man? But let's go Packers. Excuse me. Let's go Packers here. Green Bay 23-20.
See, even if Green Bay rests their starters, which more than likely they will, Green Bay's going to win this. All they got to do really. Jordan Love's not. He hasn't really looked too great thus far in the limited playing time he's had for the Packers at quarterback, but all they really got to do is run the ball effectively, and they got guys that can do that can get the job done, and the defense can get the job done too. The Lions' offense, they just can't get anything going whatsoever. They got guys that can do something, but it's not enough for them to win football games.
Right.
At all. So give me Green Bay here, 34-14.
And we go right directly into another divisional matchup, man. We have the Colts at the Jags. This is a game that specifically Colts fans and Steelers fans are going to be paying very close attention to. The Jags fans, they're just going to be in attendance wearing clown costumes and clown masks because the Jags refuse to let go of their GM. So the fans, the Jacksonville, I suppose, loyal, faithful, would... they're going to retaliate by wearing clown costumes. And why not? Why not? The Jags are clowns. We need the Steelers specifically. The Steelers need the Jags to beat the Colts and for the Steelers to beat the Ravens in order for the Steelers to get into the playoffs. Now, the Colts have not beaten the Jags in Jacksonville since 2014. So if you want to hold on to that very tiny thread of hope, go ahead. I don't see the Jags winning. We are literally asking the worst team in the NFL right now to beat one of the teams, one of the true underdogs in the AFC that are fighting for a playoff spot. So I'm going Indianapolis, 33-10.
I mean, like, let's be real, man. Like, the Jags are downright horrible, and this Colts team is so much better than the teams previously. Honestly, in my honest opinion, the defense is great. Jonathan Taylor is arguably MVP. Carson Wentz has done very well. Give me the Colts here. You know, we need the Jags to win, but I don't see it. I really don't. I'm not going to get my hopes up for it. So give me Indianapolis to win here, 28-10.
Another rivalry matchup. We got the Washington football team at the New York Giants, who I think will still start Mike Glennon.
No, he's out.
He's out. So who's starting? Jake Fromm?
Yes.
Oh, my.
Yeah, enough said. Football team, 27-6. Giants suck.
Yeah, this game doesn't matter, but I'm still going to go the Washington football team, where this will officially be their last game as the Washington football team, since they will be picking a new name, a new logo, come next month.
That should be interesting.
That should be very interesting. I was actually getting used to the Washington football team, but you know what? You're never going to have a team like that the rest of your existence. So whatever they're going to do in next month, that'll be interesting, but this is their last game as the football team. They're going to close it out well, in my opinion, as they win 26-14. Another divisional matchup, we got the Bears at the Vikings. This is another one of those games that doesn't matter, as both teams are already eliminated from playoff contention, but they're just fighting for pride and fighting to improve records, especially Mike Zimmer, who is halfway out the door.
He's literally right there, but...
And you can say the same thing for Matt Nagy.
Yeah. I mean, it's already been confirmed, I think, by Ian Rappaport that the Bears are planning to move on from Nagy. Even if Nagy wins this game, it don't really matter. Matt Nagy needs to leave Chicago. And I can say the same about Mike Zimmer. Like, these are two teams with two horrible coaches that are hurting their organizations, hurting their teams. Despite whoever wins, both guys should leave after this game.
Right.
But if I have to choose who's going to win, I got to go Minnesota right here, 29-17. I think they got the better team, and I think they'll try to end the season on a high note.
I just realized, man, I just looked through the entire schedule. Yeah, this is a full week of divisional matchups. Every single matchup is a divisional game. I just realized that. So excuse me for that. Every game in Week 18 is a divisional matchup, which could make for a very interesting final week of the regular season. But for this game, yeah, I'm going Vikings. I don't trust the Bears. Vikings win. Let's go 27-19.
Yeah.
Next game, we have the Titans at the Texans. The Titans, man, they got to win to clinch number 1 seed, to clinch the first-round bye, where they'll get a lot of their guys back for the playoffs, specifically Derrick Henry, the king, Derrick Henry.
But they got to go up against a team that they lost to earlier this year in their territory, and that is the Houston Texans.
You're right. But the Texans, man, they're the Texans. I mean, there's not really much you can say about the Texans. I think the Titans are going to win. I don't see the Titans, who could very well be number 1 seed in the AFC, getting swept by the Texans.
I kind of can.
I don't.
I can to a degree, but, I mean, that doesn't mean I'm going to pick the Texans. I think the Texans could very well battle, be very competitive early on, but I got to go Tennessee here. You know they're going to want to get Derrick Henry back. They're going to want that first-round bye to make sure Henry is good to go for the playoffs, because they're going to need him through the playoff run. So give me Tennessee to win this game here. Let's say 31-24.
Yeah, I'll go Tennessee as well. I don't trust the Texans. So Tennessee wins and clinches first-round bye and score 25-17. Next game, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. In the final matchup of the season for both teams, obviously. The second matchup of these two teams. Lamar has not played since their first matchup, so could he be back? If not, man, I don't know what the Ravens are going to do. They're suffering from a lot of injuries now. They've lost 5 straight, while the Steelers, man, they got to win and hope to God somehow the Jags beat the Colts. But nonetheless, I think the Steelers just got to win, and I think the Jags, honestly, I think the Jags beating the Colts would just be a bonus. At this point, I'm looking at this game for the Steelers, and I'm just like, win it for Ben. Because this very well could be his last game.
As a Steeler, most undoubtedly, I think it will be.
And it completely comes full circle for Ben. He came in from Maddox in Baltimore versus the Ravens, and now he's going to end his career in Baltimore versus the Ravens. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Now, hopefully it doesn't happen like last time where the Ravens beat us, but I don't know. I'm going to go the Steelers, actually. I think the team is going to be electric. They're going to be awake. They're going to be thriving. They're obviously going to want to try to get a playoff spot, but they're mostly doing it for Ben, man. The Jags winning would just be a big bonus. But Steelers got to win this for Ben, man. End out his career very nicely while he not only sweeps the Browns like he did, but maybe sweep the Ravens. That'd be a nice touch on this very mediocre season for the Steelers. But I'm going Pittsburgh 21-18.
Yeah, the Ravens, man, it's crazy because when we first faced them, they were number 1 in the AFC. Now they're fighting for a playoff spot, losing 5 straight. It's crazy. And for this game, for a fact they're still going to want to try to fight for that playoff seed. They're going to want to try to end our season similar to Cleveland, although Cleveland was eliminated from playoff contention. They tried to end our season. The Ravens are going to want to try to do that again. And Cleveland is nowhere near to the competitive team that the Ravens are. Ravens are a much more competitive team.
Oh, just based on the rivalry aspect.
And that's what's going to make this game so much more competitive. But for this game, I'm going to go Pittsburgh right here. They know the stakes. At least I hope they do. I think they'll go out, be competitive, not expecting anything flashy or anything epic. But I think the Steelers will get the job done in Baltimore and Ben's potentially last game as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Give me the Steelers 21-14.
Next game, Bengals at the Browns. Mayfield is out, I believe.
Yeah, he's done for the season. He's getting shoulder surgery.
So that means Case Keenum's getting the start, correct?
Yep.
Versus a Bengals team that not only clinched the North last week, but is still fighting for a number 1 seed, and they could very well get it, correct me if I'm wrong, if the Titans and the Chiefs lose.
Imagine that.
And, of course, the Bengals have to win.
But imagine that.
That's how crazy the AFC's been all year.
The Bengals taking number 1.
Oh, God, who would have thought that? They were number 1 pick a few years back. Now they could be number 1 seed in the AFC.
Bro,
in a matter of a few years.
Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and that team taking a break?
God, I hope not. But I don't think the Titans and the Chiefs are losing this week, obviously in our predictions. But I do think the Bengals will continue to win by beating the Browns here by a score of 34-20. Cleveland, man, they finished 7-10 in my opinion. And they'll probably stick with Baker, of course. And I don't know what the fuck they'll do in the offseason, but whatever happens, happens.
Cleveland is not a good team at all. This season basically proves it. They remind me of the Jacksonville Jaguars when they went to the AFC Championship game that one year, and then the next year, I don't think they even made the playoffs.
Right. Well, they're not that bad. They have a lot more talent with more to build.
I don't deny that, but they've completely,
funked it up.
They've completely, been very, very
underwhelming.
Underperforming. Very. But give me Cincinnati right here. I think Cincinnati will get the win here, 33-23.
Next game, we have the 49ers at the Rams, man. Now, the Niners need to get a win here to clinch a playoff spot because the Saints are rivaling them, I believe. I believe it's the Niners and the Saints, and whoever wins their respective matchup gets the
playoff seed because right now the 49ers have that seed.
Now, if they win here versus the Rams, yeah, they could get it. Obviously, they would clinch it because they have a better record over the Saints. But if the Niners lose to the Rams, and I believe if the Saints win, they might clinch it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But for this game, I think the Niners are going to win it. I don't see how the Niners stay out of the playoffs with the team they got. With Deebo Samuel, with Kittle, with you already know who.
Yeah, honestly, the team's very, very good.
And I don't know if Garoppolo will be back. Will he? Is there any update on him?
I have not heard anything. I don't know if Garoppolo's playing or Lance is playing.
Now, of course, we all already know, like we already stated, the Packers have already clinched up number 1 seed. So the Rams will probably be fighting for a higher seeding at this point. But I still think the Niners will get this victory. I think they're just going to try to definitely clinch a playoff spot here. Now, if they lose, but the Saints still lose, I believe the Niners still clinch it. But I'm still going to go with the Niners here. Let's go, San Francisco 26-21.
You know for a fact San Francisco is going to try their best to keep a hold of their playoff seed, and I think they will. They're going to come out competitive. They're going to come out fighting, and I think they actually come out and get the victory on the road against the Rams. I really do. San Francisco is a very, very talented, underrated team in the NFC. I think they got a lot of weapons. They got a lot of talent. I think they can win this game against Los Angeles. Let's go 27-24. We're going to be very competitive for sure.
Next game, we have the Panthers at the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks could sit their stars, but they could also fight for a higher seed as well. And against the Panthers that just want to swap quarterbacks like underwear.
Yeah, I mean, they got Sam Darnold starting.
Bucks win 24-13.
Tampa Bay 38-16.
Next game, we have the Seahawks at the Cardinals, man. Cardinals are probably fighting for a higher seed as well. Seahawks are already done and out the playoffs. They're fighting for pride at this point. I don't know what is going to be in the Seattle's future. I don't know if this is the end of Carroll and Wilson or either. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what the Seahawks do this offseason, especially since they have no first-round pick. So they could trade Wilson. Who knows? Anything can happen with the Seahawks. This might be the last time we see of what was supposedly going to be a dynasty. But
at once was a dynasty.
yeah, they went to back-to-back Super Bowls, man. But for this game, I'll go Arizona. I think they're going to play some of their starters, and I think they'll get the victory here, 28-23.
Yeah, give me Arizona to win this one here. It's going to be competitive, but I think Arizona gets the win, 30-28.
This week, I ain't going to lie, it is kind of hard to predict some of these games because you don't know what team's going to sit who. So it's
That's a good point.
It's kind of hard to kind of bode here with some of these predictions, but I'm still going to go Cardinals here.
Yeah.
Next game, man, we have a game that will determine the AFC East. We have the Patriots at the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins already beat the Patriots week 1, I believe. I do not see the Dolphins sweeping the Patriots.
No, because week 1, we didn't really know what to expect from the Patriots initially.
Now we see what the Patriots are like. I believe they've clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah, they're going to the playoffs.
But the Bills and the Patriots are just fighting for whoever gets the East Division title. So I'm going to go the Patriots winning this by a score of 23-18.
Yeah, give me New England right here, 32-20.
Next game, Saints and Falcons. Again, man, Saints need the Niners to lose for them to get in, as well as getting a win here. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's the case. But I'll be real with you, I don't see the Saints winning this. Now, I know that the Falcons already beat them earlier this year, and the Saints defense could bail the Saints out again, but that offense is just awful. It's terrible. I don't know who's going to be the starter. It could be Ian Book again, Taysom Hill. I don't know. I really don't, and that offense of the Saints is just it's painful to watch. And I know the Saints defense is really good, but I think the Falcons have enough power to get some points on the board rather than the Saints. They can't get any points on the board. So
yeah,
I'm going to go Atlanta here, 21-16.
See, I can see Atlanta pulling this one off. I really could. Their offense ain't too bad. Kyle Pitts is great. Cordell Patterson had a breakout year. Their defense is hit or miss for the most part. To be honest, I don't know how they have 7 wins. I'm actually surprised by that. I really am. Credit to the Falcons there.
And Arthur Smith.
Yeah, and Arthur Smith for sure. His first year as head coach for the Falcons. I think he's going to do great for their future. But I don't know. That Saints defense, I still feel like it is great. It's bailed them out so many times. It's the main reason why they have 8 freaking wins. I don't know. It's a coin flip for me. But I think I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints here. I think their defense is going to bail them out again. I feel like if you try to give it to Kamara, maybe he can make magic happen. Maybe he can do something. I don't know. I just don't really see Atlanta. I can see them winning, but at the same time, I can't.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just going to go with New Orleans to win this one right here, 16-13.
Next game, though, we have the Jets, the Bills. Bills need to win to clinch the East since they're technically first place right now. But I think they're going to do it. They got the easiest team of them all, at least between the Pats and the Bills, their matchups. But the Jets still, I mean, they took Tampa Bay and Tom Brady to the limit. So I wouldn't sleep on the Jets here, but I'm still going to go the Bills winning 31-24.
Yeah, that's a good point. The Jets they've been more competitive lately than they have been the past 5 years or so, I'd say. Zach Wilson has been playing a little bit better. Robert Slay seems like he's getting something going a little bit, slowly but surely, for the New York Jets. But the Bills, man, I think right now they're number 1 in the division, if I'm not mistaken. But just like the Patriots, they're going to want to fight for that number 1 division title. The Bills, they're still a pretty decent, solid team. Give me Buffalo right here to win at home. Let's say 35-23. Buffalo.
And to close out Week 18, guys, man, we have actually to close the regular season in general. We got the Chargers at the Raiders. Whoever wins is in the playoffs. It's going to be a fun game. It could be a back-and-forth shootout. I have the Chargers. I think they win it here. I think they make the playoffs. Now, I haven't picked the Raiders to win a game in I forget how many weeks, and they've always shut me up. So who knows? Maybe I'm benefiting the Raiders by doubting them. But I'm still going to go with the Chargers here. 33-30 in a shootout.
This game could definitely go either way for the division title for the playoff spot right here, but I think I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one. I feel like their team is much more talented than the Raiders. Herbert's great. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen were a 1,000-yard duo once again. We all know how Eckler is. Their defense is pretty solid. The Raiders, they have some bright spots too here and there, but after everything, I'll give the Raiders this. After everything that they've been through and are still going through, like, for them to have this type of record is actually very impressive. Because with a team with this much drama, with everything literally thrown at them to be dealing with, most teams don't really tend to deal with a solid record. I got to give the Raiders credit on that, but I think I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one in a high-scoring game, but I think the Chargers win by a game-winning field goal, 34-31.
And that is our Week 18 predictions. Week 18, man, closes out the regular season. The massive, massive playoff implications in store, as it is a complete divisional week here to close out the regular season, which should be very fun. I think it'll be a big bonus to end the regular season before the playoffs already hit. So give us your guys' predictions down below. Definitely enjoy this week of football because it's almost over. And that pains me to even think about it. But, God, they had 1 week, and it seems like it flew faster. I don't get it, but
It really did.
But give us your guys' picks down below, and see you guys in the next one.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace!